All right, Brutus. 5, but I shall refuse to pay you, said I, unless the original creditor takes no farther part in the suit. This is more than I can promise, replied he, for I can easily foresee that this easy man who disclaims all severity will urge his demand upon you, not indeed to distress you, but yet with earnestness and importunity. To speak ingenuously, said Atticus, my friend Brutus, I believe, is not much mistaken, for as I now find you in good spirits for the first time after a tedious interval of despondency, I shall soon make bold to apply to you, and as this gentleman has promised his assistance to recover what you owe me, the least I can do is to solicit in my turn for what is due to him. Explain your meaning, said I. I mean, replied he, that you must write something to amuse us, for your pen has been totally silent this long time, and since your treatise on politics we have had nothing from you of any kind, though it was the perusal of that which fired me with the ambition to write an abridgment of universal history. But we shall, however, leave you to answer this demand when and in what manner you shall think most convenient. At present, if you are not otherwise engaged, you must give us your sentiments on a subject on which we both desire to be better informed. And what is that? Said I. A work which you had just begun, replied he, when I saw you last at Tusculum, the history of eminent orators, when they made their appearance, and who and what they were, which furnished such an agreeable train of conversation that when I related the substance of it to your, or I ought rather to have said our common friend Brutus, he expressed an ardent desire to hear the whole of it from your own mouth. Knowing you, therefore, to be at leisure, we have taken the present opportunity to wait upon you, so that if it is really convenient, you will oblige us both by resuming the subject. Well, gentlemen, said I, as you are so pressing, I will endeavor to satisfy you in the best manner I am able. You are able enough, replied he, only unbend, or rather, if possible, set at full liberty your mind. If I remember right, said I, Atticus, what gave rise to the conversation was my observing that the cause of Dietarus, a most excellent sovereign and a faithful ally, was pleaded by our friend Brutus in my hearing with the greatest elegance and dignity. 6. True, replied he, and you took occasion from the ill success of Brutus to lament the loss of a fair administration of justice in the forum. I did so, answered I, as indeed I frequently do, and whenever I see you, my Brutus, I am concerned to think where your wonderful genius, your finished erudition, and unparalleled industry will find a theater to display themselves. For after you had thoroughly improved your abilities by pleading a variety, is that improved? Improved your abilities by pleading a variety of important causes, and when my declining vigor was just giving way and lowering the ensigns of dignity to your more active talents, the liberty of the state received a fatal overthrow, and that eloquence of which we are now to give the history was condemned to perpetual silence. Our other misfortunes, replied Brutus, I lament sincerely, and I think I ought to lament them, but as to eloquence, I am not so fond of the influence and the glory it bestows, as of the study and the practice of it, which nothing can deprive me of while you are so well disposed to assist me. For no man can be an eloquent speaker who has not a clear and ready conception. Whoever, therefore, applies himself to the study of eloquence is at the same time improving his judgment, which is a talent equally necessary in all military operations. Your remark, said I, is very just, and I have a higher opinion of the merit of eloquence, because though there is scarcely any person so different as not to persuade himself that he either has or may acquire every other accomplishment which formerly could have given him consequences in the state, I can find no person who has been made an orator by the success of his military prowess. But that we may carry on the conversation with greater ease, let us seat ourselves. As my visitors had no objection to this, we accordingly took our seats in a private lawn near a statue of Plato. Then resuming the conversation. To recommend the study of eloquence, said I, and describe its force and the great dignity it confers upon those who have acquired it, is neither our present design nor has any necessary connection with it. But I will not hesitate to affirm that whether it is acquired by art or practice or the mere powers of nature, it is the most difficult of all attainments, for each of the 5 branches of which it is said to consist is of itself a very important art, from whence it may easily be conjectured how great and arduous must be the profession which unites and comprehends them all.